It's Angelo time. All right, up next we got Angelo, portfolio review from Athens, Greece. Freaking cool. I love this whole internet thing that we've got going that kind of lets us all communicate from everywhere. Can't get enough. Ricky, what's up, man? What's up, Jed? So you have a pretty stylized look. Let me make sure I'm reading this stuff correctly. So you want to get an entry-level position in environment art. Missing anything crucial? It's unnecessary. Oh, Magnus, by the way. Sorry, going back to the other portfolio really quick. The scene that we will critique today in your Discord critiques. It's nice to see something that's that different in the rest of your portfolio, so it'll add a lot to your variety. Just so you know. All right, so Angelo. Let's just go through these really quickly. So, cool design, defense turret. Is this still true? Your most ambitious portfolio project so far? The scale is pretty nice. I like how the little elements on the side kind of bring a scale down. As well with like the stairs. I guess those are stairs, right? I guess you would go up to it for maintenance. So with stuff like, I would be careful about saying stuff like this, just because you'll always have to go back and update description information later. Oh, these are cool. So these elements are awesome. The details on here are pretty dope. The area of rest versus attention of detail is pretty nice. Like this big areas of rest here. I would say maybe these are sticking out a little too far. And like these, you totally need like, so you made this in Maya. If you can get a round edge shader in Maya, this edge here, oh man, just melted into that would be so nice. Gotta go with that Hollywood orange teal lighting. Feels good, man. Yeah, and then you get that like, there's the cool and the warm, but it's not too intense. Feels nice. It's like, when can we start 3D printing cakes? So you can add more loops when it's so big. You're talking about in let's see here. I mean, when you have elements like this, making sure that those steps don't occur, like you gotta watch out for those. But like this area has the resolution that I would expect, which is good. Yeah, dude, this is rad though. Is this your low poly? Is this your own design? Oh no, concept. So just a heads up. Now, if you want. If you, in this line here, if you hit enter and you have a break between, you could just say concept by and then the link. Oh, nice. And then the link. As long as there's a space in between them, it'll now create a hot link. I'll show you what I mean. So in mine, because there's a space, see, it creates this. So instead of the URL that you have, it would be a link like this, which is pretty. It looks pro. Looks the dopeness. Anywho, this is awesome. I'm like sweating bullets in here, guys. Watch out, ammunition is ripe. Yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna turn that off there. Yeah. Overall, cool though. This one's pretty cool. It feels a little narrow to me, just off the. It's like when you get that front view. Like when we go this way. So when it's the front view, I feel like maybe it's a little narrow. Let's see here. Oh man, I was able to screenshot it well. Okay, hang on. Maybe more like that. And then I think that would look more correct, I guess. I don't know. This is a problem that tends to occur when you have like when you're working in orthographic views or you're looking at schematics or like side views and front views and stuff like that. If you're lacking a front or back view, you can tend to have a squished effect sometimes. But yeah, just a little note. Modeling wise, pretty cool. It looks a little strange here. I think maybe it's just the way that the edge is. Doesn't look intentional as far as like it looks more like geometry versus design for how it's put together. But let's keep going through here. Nice. Some weird. So this stuff you'll want to watch out for. I think this is what maybe like resolution of things, or it's like baking problems. It's one or the other. My gut reaction is it's baking issues, and the resolution that you're working with is so low that you're not seeing it. Froz, what's up, man? Yeah, mostly side views for the Vespa. That makes sense. So, I mean, seeing it in the GIF like this looks good. I think showing it this close doesn't do it justice when I think you're intending to show it at this size. Teach, what's up, man? Hey, son. Yeah. So keep going here. So this is pretty interesting. This is going away from what you had been working on, I feel anyways. Detail-wise, looks pretty cool. Has a style to it. It's a shame that I guess that it's so flat. I guess it must be like that in the design. Because see, like, while it's so flat, it would be so much more interesting, I think, if it had a curve to it. So, like, if it were to have, like, either, like, it's rounded, or if it, like, bowed out a bit, or if it was higher, it was straight here, and then the bottom part kind of, like, tapered in a little bit more, or, like, bent itself inward. Just so that you're getting some more shapes and stuff like that. Yeah, I just need some FFD, or some FDD. I think it's FFD, isn't it? But I mean, this is cool. Yeah, like it looks like your arm's supposed to go through here, and then your hand wraps around that one. And in that case, I feel like this is really like this needs some more space. No clue. You know. It's pretty cool though. It's interesting design. And the details seem to be portraying well. These elements here are really, like, I feel like these ones you don't really need. I mean, you integrated them in a better way than that, just how they're drawn in the concept. Now it makes more sense. I like that you took the liberty to make sense of it. Like, concept is really just there to show you the direction you should head. And it's up to you to how you walk that direction, right? This is super cool. I actually really, really like this one. I feel like maybe it's a little too dark in here. But overall, like, even with that darkness, it's got like a color to it, which is really nice. Let's see here. I'm just going to look. Yeah, I think the saturation's fine. So, like, there's some, like, blooming happening here, like what is that color? So you have, like, color range happening, which is really nice. So you're getting, like, this mix. Yeah, it's really cool. I think getting some more, maybe like an amped up ambient occlusion to kind of get the shapes to pop a bit more would be helpful, but it looks awesome. Playing a game that looks like this would be pretty sick. Let's see what the concept looks like that you're going off of. Yeah, so see, I mean, this looks cool, but I really like the approach you went with the way the materials are. Now, getting these kind of smaller details modeled out would probably be the only thing I would push to add that extra layer of detail. It's like you're getting some of the smaller details here, and I feel like it's missing that kind of, like you're missing these elements. But yeah, awesome. It's called I'm Too Lazy to Texture It? No way, man. This one's cool. How is this one textured? I'm assuming it was answered. Love the simplicity. Texture and Substance Painter. Interesting. Yeah, so you went for a lot of like soft, like you did edge detection, but you really softened it, which is a really cool look. Like some good painterly-esque material work in through Substance Painter, which is pretty cool. It's pretty poly heavy down here, but I think like you're doing yourself a bit of a disservice by getting this close. I feel like viewing it like this makes me ask myself why mobile games don't look this cool. Like, you know, when you're building your little towns and stuff, like why can't it look like this? Yeah, it's got mobile RTS vibes going on with it, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's freaking cool. Based off of this stuff, this is, oh yeah. Yeah, see, this one's really squished. I like the widening effect that you have with it. Oh man, yeah. Okay. I'm excited. So, oh dude, that's freaking cool. So the only thing I would say maybe is like if you could take this railing stuff and raise it a little bit more, you would get a more interesting shadow shape earlier. But that's all I could really say. Oh no, maybe the ceiling texture doesn't really feel like it's in the same style. I think that's the other thing that I would peg down. But oh man, yeah, that's dope. These drip patterns, hang on here, might be a little too even, like the spacing between them. Like usually have like let's do this. So with stuff like this, here I'll even make it more extreme so you can really see it. And we'll, oh wow, all right. So like the spacing between these, like these are we'll call these like your hard points. For the most part, you can see there's a pattern almost, right? In like how they're spaced out. I think, and if you look at it, it does this, because your brain blurs information. So you can see the pattern is these like 3 points. So your brain tries to make sense of that, and it'll do this. What you can do is usually, or at least what I do, is choose a point that's the highest or longest, and then everything builds to that point and then goes off back up around the same height as where it started. And you'll see like it kind of follows that rule of thirds, where like that point needs to be either on the left or right side. If you're gonna have another long point, it's got to be like kind of in another spot that's similar to the rule of thirds, going off of this one and this one. So you'd end up having it there. I know that sounds really hardcore, but it gets really natural. Like you won't even be thinking about it. Let me see if I can. But yeah, you can see how like having like a longer point, and then everything else kind of goes back up as you work your way upwards or back to the side. That's what I would say about that. Let me get back to this. So this corridor actually so far feels like the weakest of the set. I put the video at the very end. I'm not, like, we're running out of time, so I'm not going to take the time to look at the video right now. This dripping detail, I would probably save for, like, how the pipe meets the wall. And then I would definitely look at scale for, like, how tall is a person? Getting, like, a character in here. Like, this is in Unreal, so, like, getting a character in here and seeing where they stand and how wide that seat is to them is going to be pretty important. How high or low the ceiling is also another thing you're going to want to look at when you're looking at your character for scale reference. Because right now these chairs feel really wide. This hallway is also very boxy, so I think doing something with the shape of the walls, just to kind of break up their overall like floor plan silhouette, if that makes sense. So this scene I thought was pretty cool. All these shots are pretty interesting. The video I would put at the end again, and then I actually think that where are we at here? Man, there's so many shots and they're so big. The stump and this shot are the strongest, and I think at one point we'd edited this one because you see how you're really heavy into the darks again. You got to be really careful about that. Because, like, see how much more, like, it still is dark, but you're seeing more of the scene. I mean, I think everything has some form of reflectivity on it, right? Which is fine. I think, if anything, it needs some brighter, like, we talked about this before, but some brighter elements in the material itself, the reflectivity of it's a little extreme, of course, but it gets the point across. Yeah. So I think balancing the brightness of the scene is really important. So that way you can actually see. You can see the difference too. Like this one feels dark for no reason. Because you know it's outside and you know that it's bright. It's at least bright out because there's rays coming through here. This feels much more accurate to the balance of like what the implied lighting is. So I would actually put this one and the stump one as your first two images. And then I would put every other image after it below it. You don't even need, like, I would do this cone and not this cone. This is really good. This should be inside of this image, and then the video should be at the very end. And then I think it'll present itself better. Because, like, where are we at here? If you go and you look at this, and you're like, oh, that's cool. You click that, and it's not even in the first image. So it's confusing. I guess it does make you scroll down, and then you see it here, but this shot of it is not as compelling as the thumbnail. So, yeah, food for thought on like how you're presenting your content. So I used to say that the grout between stones being this deep was weird, but I've seen it more than enough times now that it's actually like that in some cases. Chiseling the edges off this harshly in so many areas in a similar manner. It's kind of a little too, it's too systematic in the way that it's being approached versus like naturally forming. And then the stretching here, to alleviate the stretching, all you need to do is work on the gradient for the edge of these bricks. So like I've talked about this in another stream as well, but let's just do this one really quick. So here's your grout. Here's your grout height. This is side view. And then your brick goes up like this. When you chisel this edge off, actually, sorry. Let me make a new. So grout, brick. When you chisel this edge off, there's some gradient information there, which gives the height map some information to work with. If you can even do like artificially soften the edge of the stone so it's more like that, you're gonna get far less stretching on the edge of your bricks. Overall though, I think I would go off of what you find is most fun. Like you have these images here, these pieces here. These ones are really strong. They're stronger than these three. Of these three, this is your strongest. So if you're wanting to go this route, put this one in the beginning, and then I would actually remove this one unless you fix the scale. I would put this one at the very end, and then everything else, you should have a header image. Lots of potential ones there. Oh, you mean up here? I don't know, man. I think this image really locks it in for me. I'm like, I need to know more about this Angelo guy. Oh, you hear the sirens? Stuff's getting real outside. I say that, and then it turns out zombie apocalypse. Oh, God, no. No! Yeah. So I would find out, like, you want to go this route or you want to go this route as far as professionalism, like where you're going to go. You thought that was outside your window? Which way you want to go for your... Oh, my God. I just saw chat. Moderator chat. Thanks, Tish. But, yeah, fix the scale on this. These guys are really interesting. If you like doing this type of stuff, go that route. If you like doing this type of stuff, start blowing up your portfolio with this look. Right now, looking at both. All right. That's fine as well. Just know that an employer, if they talk to you, is going to ask which one you're more interested in. Yeah. Okay. Next portfolio. Let's do this. I think you're looking pretty strong, though. Your realistic stuff needs work. I think scale and presentation are where you're weakest right now. And that's where you can get away with it a little bit with the stylized stuff. Is like scale and proportion of things can skew a little bit. This defense turret, super strong. Super, super strong. All right. Be right back.